Hi there. Welcome to my multidimensional living room. I will be painting energies. If something speaks to you and helps you orient yourself and navigate your life and understand and love yourself and those around you a little bit better, then that's great. And if it doesn't, then it's for or from somebody else. Use your intuition and use your discernment, as always. I actually entered this space like 3 minutes ago. Didn't get far, thank God. It's not like the previous painting. This is my very second time that I'm trying to paint it, and the energy that I encountered right from the start is the energy of recalibration. Recalibration of the heart space. There's like a jumping from heart that is coming from the frequency of like, oh my God, I feel so good, my heart is open, I feel so connected, and their heart is open, and oh my God, it's just like, it's so beautiful, and it's like, there are like flowers blooming everywhere, and you just want to talk about flowers and let everybody know how beautiful the flowers are, and then as soon as you start talking about flowers, and you just like, all of a sudden you are drifting away in the mental realm because you're finding words for like the type of white of the flowers. It's like getting too far out and then coming back into the center, and then again getting distracted and then coming back into the center. Yeah. There's like a conversation between mind and the heart that is happening internally. In like multiple different fields. For example, you might be coming in a field of somebody else, or somebody comes into your field, and you're having a conversation and they say something, and what they say, your mind, your ego kind of goes into ouch mode. How dare they say something like this? It's not like super conflicting, but it's just like, you know, your mind starts working immediately. But the heart space field is so much more powerfully calibrated that it overrides what the mind says. So if your mind is already going into like, they never have respect, they always like this, or something like that, your heart is kind of also whispering quite loudly, louder than your mind, and letting you know, like, let them, just like allow them. Maybe it even comes with like additional explanations such as, look, this person is not in your field every single day. Allow them to be. Let them show you. And so you're like, okay, yeah. You're pacing yourself internally and be like, yeah, okay. It doesn't even come like an effort. It doesn't even come like trying. It doesn't even come like inner work. It's more that you witness your ego reacting, but the heart is stronger. So the heart already leads by default, and ego is just there to make a noise in the background. And then it puts you in a field of heart where the other person also feels a little bit more open towards you, and so they show you something, and your mind is like in the background of like, I don't know if I can trust that, I don't know, I'm not so sure about it, I don't know, let's see, but your heart is allowing it to happen, and then they show you what they got, and then you get impressed. It's like you see the opportunity that it brings you. See how actually whatever this person brings into your field is actually nurturing those flowers in your heart. And then you realize like, oh my God, this is amazing. It's like you get surprised within yourself, like your mind gets surprised, and you realize like, wow, this is so amazing. And you even recognize like, what's the next step of that thing that they brought into your field, and you can be like, oh my God, like I have a new idea, maybe we could do this together. And then you present this new idea to this person, and now they have exactly the same process happening within themselves, where their ego comes in with like, I don't know, I'm not so sure about it, I usually work only on my ideas, not everybody else's. So there's like this, like mine versus yours. But their heart again is showing them is so powerfully calibrated and open and strong that, again, it makes this mind chatter just like a background noise. And the fact that, and what heart brings to the table is obviousness. I don't know, I'm lacking the better word for it. Obviousness of how actually that idea that is brought up by another person is actually potentially way much more fulfilling than rejecting that idea or staying true to only yours ideas. So that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing people learning how to coexist in each other's fields. It's kind of like this is, for example, this is the edge of an ego. So this is who you think you are. And somebody comes and tries to take you from the inside of this circle a little bit out, like stretch you a little bit out, and it's uncomfortable. Ego doesn't like that. But then once when you go a little bit outside, you realize you have way much more space. and that's kind of expanding and liberating and exhilarating and exciting, and it feels good. Yeah, it feels good. I was also getting an example of how some people, I wanted to say people, but then souls came in. Beings. Some beings. They start their life together, and perhaps maybe not even in the best way possible. So let's say you go to school together and you're not really having the best connection with one another. I don't know, like you just remember that person as being an asshole in a class. And then school finishes one day and thank God you don't have to see them anymore. And so you go to high school or you go to university, and each of you goes in your own way. And each of you gets your own PhD and your own jobs and your own families, and you choose your own cities and continents that you live on. And even like 20 years later, you look back and you're like, you check where they are. Where are they? Like, are they far enough? And then you see that they live on another continent and you're like, yeah, thank God, just like keep them because they're an asshole. They probably still are. And then for some reason, I don't know, like even if you have completely different educations and professions and different lifestyle, you might find yourself again at the same time, at the same space. It doesn't have to be like physically same time, same space. It might be that you start doing content creation about a specific topic, and then you figure out, or you don't figure out, but you just find out, you stumble upon the fact that that person from another continent that went to school with you, they're doing the same type of content on the same topic. And again, there's this like mind's idea of, yeah, but they used to be my enemy when we went to the school. They were an asshole. But then there's also this heart's field saying, I'm so glad and so relieved that that person actually understands at least one part of me. Because there might be also a whole bunch of others who don't really understand what you're doing out there. Like you might be talking about something and people will be like, huh? But now you know that that person that used to be an asshole in the school understands you. If normally people would come to you and be like, who are you? What are you about? What are you doing here? What do you mean? That would be the person that you wouldn't have to explain yourself to, because you see that they're operating in the same field. And again, it seems like what I'm picking up on is that the heart's frequency, the relief ease, love, and compassion that you can find for another person overrides the mental memory of who that person used to be back in time. It's not that the mind doesn't show up with its memories and conclusions and opinions and thoughts, but it's that it's kind of it's losing the relevance. Yeah, it's kind of, it doesn't lead anymore. Yeah. I'm also getting that people who do not necessarily have the strongest heart space, not everybody are consciously working with that field, especially like older generations. They have beings, I wanted to say people, but then immediately I see dogs as well, who serve as proxy. So if you, for example, you in a heartful way connect with somebody whose heart is like severely closed, like they do have love, they showcase love, they show up in love, but it's not really, like there's always like that love kind of always comes out in a different way, either through action or like somebody needs to speak in the name of that person, or you just like, for example, like you enter their home and the home is very lovely and cozy, but that person in and of itself is like very like, no, it's like they will never give you a compliment or anything like that. There are these proxies, and these proxies are being brought into the awareness. Yeah, for some reason, I don't know why. It's kind of like one heart field can take more people, even people who have like a little bit more closed off heart space. It's like, it's not that their heart space is like fully closed and broken and it's like off, not like that, but there are specific areas through which like they don't fully express themselves through the heart, and they still have the habit of latching onto their logical mind rather than operating from the heart space. Maybe sun connects with your heart space in one way or another. I'm hearing the song Count on Me from 𝐬𝐨𝐮𝐥 Status. I know that 𝐬𝐨𝐮 Status came up recently in one of the paintings. I was quite surprised that that came out because I didn't listen to 𝐬𝐮𝐿 Status for like, I don't know, 10 plus years. And then I went to listen to them, and I woke up this morning with 𝐬𝐮𝐿 Status playing Count on Me. Yeah, that kind of fits with this sharing of the heart space with somebody who serves as a proxy. find that a very loving thing to do, to have somebody in your field who speaks heart instead of you, or for you, or like translates heart to you. And by heart I mean heart language. That's really beautiful. I'm getting also, of course, like this being in the heart space for people who are not really fully used to is like very much uncomfortable. If you are serving as a proxy to somebody else, you are helping more than you think, and maybe you didn't even notice how much you help until now. Maybe this is when I'm bringing this to your awareness. It's like you're making things so much easier, not just for that person and for everybody else involved, including yourself. That was weird. But also on a collective level. It's like some people are having like a really hard time being in their heart space predominantly, but it seems like that's exactly what's needed and asked from them. And people who serve as proxy are making it easier, are helping. That's really cool, because I'm seeing even people who are not really fluent and native to the term or grid or field of light workers. It's like people who don't, like if you would introduce that term to them, like they would be like, what's that? I never heard something like this. But even people who don't have full knowledge, like they don't have to have any intellectual knowledge about what's going on, but they are already through the frequency of the heart tuned in, and they're already doing the work without knowing what they're doing. That's really beautiful. Yeah, and that kind of sends like a ripple effect across the collective field. You may be easily picking up on heart frequency from others. Like I'm getting like a really weird examples of like musicians whose music I'm not listening to, so I can't name not even one thing, but I'm sensing their energy field being like heart tuned in a way that I can connect with it, and it makes me love their being and their presence and their music without me even knowing how their music sounds like. I'm also getting a little bit of heartache for the people whose hearts are fully closed, but I'm also getting that that's not fully necessary, and if you find yourself in that energy, like try to clear your energy and get yourself out of that field, because it's really not necessary to hurt for somebody else. You will help yourself and them way much more if you just tune into the frequency of heartfulness rather than heartache. That feels good. Alright. That was short. I feel already that it's time to leave it at this. How should I call this painting? Heart proxy, heartful proxy, heart sun, Heartful Sun. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. Thank you for being here. If you want your own personal painting, the link for that is in the description. Thank you for liking, thank you for commenting, thank you for subscribing, and thank you for any other support that you do for this channel. I highly appreciate at this point, and I'm really happy to see the channel growing slowly but surely. Once again, thank you for being here. Ciao. Oh, I wanted to make this, just like, you know, we have openings, then let's have closings that look like this.